Hi guys, Danielle here and welcome to another video. So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a serious video. It is something that has plagued my life in quite a big way for a couple of years now. I've not seen the sort of negative aspects of it. I've not linked the negative aspects of it to my life until it became a lot more apparent in a situation that I was in. So that thing we're going to discuss today is toxic positivity. Now I'll just read you the definition so we've both all got a basic understanding of what toxic positivity means. The definition of it says the overgeneralization of a happy, optimistic state that results in the denial, minimization, and invalidation of the authentic human emotional experiences. And yeah, I would say that is definitely where I've been for the last couple of years. This is going to be a difficult video. So what I think of now when I think of toxic positivity is people that are just, you know, overly positive, like to the point where it is unhealthy, and they are completely denying, you know, any sort of negativity at all. And yeah, I was there, absolutely I was there. So I would say after I had my first miscarriage and I was fighting depression, and it would be the case where I first started reading things like The Secret and The Law of Attraction and, you know, those kinds of self-help books. And I really just clung on to it really hard. I was going through like an absolute shit time and I really just wanted things to get better. So I basically started reading all this stuff, and it was all these people telling me that basically I have manifested all the crap in my life myself. Like anything negative that has happened to me has happened to me because I had manifested it. Basically I was thinking negative thoughts, so the negativity and all the shit was coming towards me. Now if I was just able to flick that switch and put out positivity, then that would be what I would get. So anything from basically when I started reading like The Secret and all that stuff, anything negative that happened after that, it was me. I'd made it happen. It was all my fault. And you can see where that could get into very dangerous territory. Now, for a while, I was using this, The Secret, this positive mindset and everything to cover up what I was feeling, my depression, and obviously the loss of my first miscarriage. I was covering everything up. I was like, everything's fine. If we just think it's fine, it'll be fine. It's gonna, you know, everything's gonna work out. It's gonna be amazing and da 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 da. Now that led to me covering my emotions, as I said, and it made me feel like reading all this and having that sort of mindset, it made me feel like I couldn't feel any negativity. And anytime that I did feel any negativity, it was my fault, and I was making a choice myself. I was choosing not to be happy. I was choosing not to be positive. It was something I thought that was in my control, and it got really, really quite bad. I ended up having to leave my job because it was getting, my depression had got that bad, and I was covering everything up, and I was just basically putting, you know, a band-aid over everything when I needed stitches. There you go. That's a good analogy for it. So I wasn't dealing with anything. I was just pretending everything was fine, and it wasn't. Instead, I ended up having to leave my job because I pretty much had a mental breakdown. And not long after that, I had lost my second pregnancy, and I was obviously very unhappy. I was depressed, I was sad, but because of everything that I read and everything that was taught to me at the time, all the sort of like positive affirmations and everything that I was consuming, I had put everything together, and everything was my fault. It was my fault that we had lost our 2 little girls. It was my fault that I couldn't cope in the job where I was at that time. It was my fault that the family was falling. I mean, the family wasn't falling apart by any means, but do you know what I mean? Everything was my fault. Someone could have just walked up to me in the street and slapped me in the face for no reason, and it would have been my fault. I would have somehow turned it into my head to be my fault. I've brought all this on myself, and I have manifested all this stuff to happen to me. Now you see where we are getting into really, really dangerous territory for people. I'm all for having a, you know, healthy sort of optimistic thing, you know, a mindset. It's, if something doesn't work out, you know, I can be like, all right, well, next time I'll try harder, or maybe that thing wasn't the right thing for me and I'll move on to something else. But I wasn't feeling like that at that time. I feel like that now. I can express that now. At the time, I would have been like, I'm a failure. It's my fault. It absolutely blows my mind how people, you know, how I thought and how people could put that onto you. It is really quite disgusting. So we'll go through the signs of, I've got some notes here as well. The signs of toxic positivity is hiding and masking your true feelings, trying to just get on with it, feeling guilty for feeling bad, and minimizing others' experiences with feel-good quotes. Now we've all seen them, and it's basically like telling someone that's, you know, analogy would be to telling someone that's got like a, you know, depression to you know, just get up, just get on with it. You know, you don't know what that person's going through. There was definitely times where I couldn't even get out of bed. I think there was, God, it must have been about 2 weeks or something, and I like physically, literally couldn't get out of bed. Absolutely no. And you see it a lot in places such as MLMs, which are a whole different lot of crap bags that I am hoping to make a video on, because I think being in the UK, they're slightly different over here, and I would really like to go over the differences and stuff. I mean, both are trash. Anywhere in the world, MLMs are trash. But I think there's a little bit of differences that I'd be interested to look into. And also cults, you know, with your positive, if everyone's like on the same page, you're all thinking the same thing, and if you're not, you know, there's something wrong with you. It's that kind of mindset. It's, I mean, I cannot really, you know, emphasize how dangerous this is and how absolutely toxic this is. These are the people that I'll say to you, prime example, you've got people that'll tell you, get the toxic people out of your life, get all those negative people out of your life. Do you know what? See if your husband, MLMs especially do this, right? See if your husband's not supporting you and he's not in with it all, then just, you know, just divorce him, get rid of him. He's not worth it. Like, no. Like, how are they able to say that your husband's probably not supporting you because it's a bad idea? For the most part, obviously there's shit husbands or shit wives, you know what I mean? But the point I'm trying to make is that they are the toxic ones. Like, they absolutely are. They're the toxic ones. They might come across and be all like happy and smiling and the world is a bed of roses, and if you're being negative, you're just, you know, just be happy, just put out positive, law of attraction, secret, bullshit. Let's face it. And it just, for them, and I did hear that recently, that you need to get all the negative people out of your life. And I can agree with that maybe to a certain point, you know, if they are toxic, possibly people with maybe addiction issues and stuff. But if they're family, you're not necessarily going to do that. You're going to try and help them. We're humans and we love the people that we love, rightly or wrongly, and we are going to try and help those people the best way we can. We don't throw out. Generally speaking, I have cut off friends, absolutely, when I've just been like, do you know what, I've got too much shit in my life to deal with. I'm not dealing with your shit if it's not a two-way street. If it's just a one-way street and I'm just feel like I'm giving, I'm either getting nothing back or I'm just getting like shit back, I'm like, no, I'm not. It's not, friendship's not like that. Friendship goes both ways. And you know, if it's anything like that, I'll agree with that. Not, oh, your husband doesn't support your scammy business, or, you know, your parents are telling you what you're doing is wrong, you just need to like cut them out of your life. No, what you're doing may not be wrong. They may say it might be wrong because, you know, they have like valid fears or whatever the situation may be. They might have valid reasons for, you know, not supporting you. You cannot just get rid of these people out your life. Absolutely not. I think we can all agree that anything in excess is bad for you. You know, you can say alcohol, drugs, whatever. This is the same with positivity, to the point where it's in excess and it gets over the line and it's toxic. It is just absolutely not healthy. Not healthy for you to be suppressing these emotions. And go back to my experiences anyway. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know like the last couple of years has been absolutely crap for me. Losing, you know, my little girls, and then I lost my mum, and it's just been a whole thing, and having to feel like I had brought that stuff on myself, or it was my fault that all these things happened. It was my fault that my little girls weren't here, and it was my fault that my mum wasn't here. And this is what this does to you. It makes you feel like it's all your fault, and it's not. You're suppressing all the bad emotions, and you're trying not to feel. After my mum had passed and everything, you know, I didn't take any sort of time. I worked the whole way through it. It's only been now, in the last 2 weeks, that I've been like, no, I need to take some time off. And that's a good 6 months after everything, you know, after my mum has passed. You know, even when I lost my girls, I never took time off work. With Reed, I had to get the morning, or get the day off work. I had to lie and say about where I was going. And I was back in work at 7 o'clock the next morning. And the same with Poppy. I was right back to work. Same as my mum. 3 days later, I went back to work. And I've not sort of taken any sort of time, and I've had to hide how I feel and get over that. And it wasn't until a few weeks ago, it's a few weeks ago now, that this really came into my forefront, when someone had said that everything, again, same as The Secret, but you know, it was a person that was having a conversation with, a meeting with, that had said everything that's happened in your life is your fault. Everything bad that's happened in your life is your fault. Everything good in your life that's happened is because you've done it. And she'd said that might be a hard pill to swallow. And at that moment, I'd obviously heard this and I'd taken this in, but I don't know what sort of clicked at that moment. I just went, I think a couple of things were said over a couple of weeks, and I just thought, fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. I was just not doing it anymore. I thought, I am not listening to this absolute bullshit, because no, someone comes up to you and just batters you for no reason. I'm not listening to that. My girls passing, my mum's passing, you know, any sort of like abuse that's happened in the past and stuff, I am not being told that is all my fault. Do I want to be like a victim and carry this with me forever and all that jazz? No. But I'm not being told it's my fault, and I am no longer gonna put a band-aid over my wounds. I'm gonna deal with them. If I want to cry, which, can I just say, if my friends are watching, that I saw the other day, thank you so much, because yeah, it was a good old tear fest. Your support is absolutely amazing to me. I love you guys so much. Yeah, I'm not gonna be told it's my fault. I am not gonna hide my emotions. If I'm sad, if I'm scared, I am not gonna feel like I cannot feel those emotions, because guess what? I'll be manifesting more of the same to me. No, I'm not. It's just not. So I did a little bit of things, and what I came across is some toxic positive statements that you can keep an eye out for if people are using them and stuff. So the first one is, don't think about it, stay positive. So in what realm is don't think about it, just stay positive? That is what got me to where I am, or where I was a couple of weeks ago, having to take a break because I just stopped thinking about it. My mum passed, just try not to think about it. My girls, try not to think about it, and everything. And then something will happen that'll trigger that emotion, and then that was me. I'd went to a friend's garden party, and I was sitting with all my friends, and something just clicked in my head, and that was me. I ended up going home, broke down, and absolutely had probably feeling all the emotions I was feeling that I should have been feeling at the time, that I wasn't letting myself feel. I think it's a lot of delayed response. The next one would be don't worry, be happy. I don't think I need to say anything about that one. Failure is not an option. Well, it is an option. It's very much an option. People fail. And I hate the sort of negative connotations of failure. You can fail at something, and that could lead you on a path somewhere completely different and somewhere better. Failure is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just these people, drumming it into your head that, we can't fail, we'll do it, we'll be successful, and we'll be rich. If we just think rich, we'll be rich, and positive vibes only. Now, what I will say about this one, I do put like positive vibes, whatever hashtag, on Instagram and stuff when I'm feeling positive. But at that same point, I am now, I do like to stay positive. I don't know how the best way is. I stay positive a healthy amount of time. Not overly positive. If something sucks, it sucks. We'll get that emotion, we'll deal with it in a healthy way. We'll talk it through, we'll cry, we'll put some sad music on and cry even more, and we feel it. I think this whole toxic positivity is like a thing of like turning us into like robots where we're all just happy, smiling, and Like, you can't even say you're having like a shit day nowadays. It'd be like, oh, just you'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? I don't want any negativity on these posts or whatever. Like, fuck off. I'm not a negative person, but if I'm having a shit day, I will tell you that I'm having a shit day. I'm sorry, I will. If I can do it, you can. Well, that sucks because I can't. I'm sure there's some things that I can do that you can't, and I'm sure there's some things that you can do that I can't. So that's just a null and void statement. Delete negativity. That goes back to, again, people that I've heard say get those negative people out of your life. Divorce your husbands, divorce your wives. They're just, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Like, what actual human tells another human to divorce their spouse if their spouse is being negative? Like, if that was the only issue, obviously there's, if a friend of mine came up and said like her husband was battering her, I'd obviously help her in the best way that I knew how and tell her to leave. But what? You honestly don't know what these people are thinking. Divorce your spouse. Divorce your spouse. And I'm the negative one. Anyway. Everything will work out in the end. And don't really need to say anything about that. And it could be worse. Well, do you know what, Karen? It could fucking be worse. But it could be a hell of a lot fucking better. And I'm just acknowledging that fact. Would you go up to someone in a coma and go, "Here, mate, could be worse"? No, you bloody would. So I've also got some notes on how to get over it that I found. Give yourself permission to feel both negative and positive emotions. Don't feel guilty. And that's still something that I struggle with now, because being in that mindset for so long, actually feeling the emotions, and I'm not saying I never felt the emotions before, but I never expressed them. So any sort of time I'd maybe feel sad in my head, or, you know, feel like I'd wanted to burst into tears, and then I would just be like, "Nope, you're fine," and just like sort of push it back down a bit. But now I'm sort of letting myself feel things. I still kind of feel guilty sometimes every time I do cry, which, to be honest, in the last 2 weeks I don't think there's been a day that I haven't cried. Once, at least once, possibly 2 or 3 times a day, and I'm forever saying sorry, crying. My husband's like, "What are you saying sorry for? Like, there's absolutely no reason to say sorry." And he's right. I shouldn't have to say sorry for feeling how I'm feeling, and you shouldn't have to say sorry for feeling how you're feeling. Take a deeper look at your anxiety through journaling. So write your feelings down. I do think that helps. I know when I was younger, I should probably start doing it again. This only popped into my head because we're decluttering a lot of the house at the moment, and I found an old journal which had some poetry in it, and I found that, and I saw some of my old poetry, and man, I was deep, really deep. I felt things quite deeply, so that might be something I might get back into. And I know that my blog has been helping me write out a lot of stuff, so definitely look at writing some of this stuff down. And the last one is take extra effort to take care of yourself. Now, this is a biggie, and it's something that I've really been trying to do. So if I'm like feeling really down, and I know that it's not possible all the time to just get up and get moving, right? But anything that would make you feel better. So self-care, read, put a face mask on, phone a friend, cry out, anything that's gonna get you any sort of self-care that's really gonna help, whether, you know, that would be writing, whether that would be, you know, putting a bit of makeup on for the day, cooking a nice meal, or anything like that. I think we can all agree that toxic positivity is shit, and those people that are trying to get you to focus like this, to be like this, and to have that in your life are people, they're the ones that are toxic. They're the ones that you shouldn't have in your life. And I'm not saying that The Secret or, you know, any of these sort of self-help groups, law of attraction or whatever, are not helping some people. I'm sure they're helping some people. And having read all the books and gone through, I know that there's definitely some aspects that I do still keep in my life. I still do my gratitude journal and things like that, and that helps when I am feeling sad to think about what I am grateful for. When I am having a really bad depressed day, or I'm just feeling like shit, that is helpful. So I know that there's some aspects that are not, but if you ever have anyone in your life turn around to you and tell you that everything negative in your life, everything that's happened to you, that's been bad, awful, abuse, you know, death, whatever, is your fault, tell them, from me, to fuck off. And don't take it. Honestly, absolutely don't take it. Don't feel guilty for feeling any sort of emotion, and just feel. We're humans, we're meant to feel emotions. So it is okay. Don't force positivity. Positivity is an amazing thing. And as I say, I'm quite generally a positive person, and I do try and take the positives from whatever situation. But if it's a shit situation, it is a shit situation, and if there's no positives, there's no positives, and I'm gonna feel whatever emotion comes with that. And I'm gonna try really hard not to work on the guilt aspects of when your mind is being so, from all these things, from all these people, from all these messages that you've been getting, when your mind has been so indoctrinated into it, like it's a cult, then it is sort of, it takes a long time for that all to unravel. And that's what I'm working on just now. So I hope you enjoyed this different video, and I hope you'll be telling all the toxic positive people in your life that, you know, many swear words. Anyway, I will see you in my next video. Bye.